Um, I want to be straight up and blunt. Um, I've run across so many people who are older than me. It is so sad. I mean, so sad. Some people just don't know how to talk to other people, and even if they do, they choose not to. But the sad part, a lot of people just don't know how. Um, but the sad part is that they do. So it's kind of both ways. Like this one time I was in the shelter and I asked this guy, I said, he was working in the front. I said, would you mind making me an appointment to go see my case manager? Because they do a little bit in the back. Sometimes you're doing the right thing and you're touching up bases about your whereabouts to be more responsible for you. And then sometimes they switch it up and they do it for you and you're supposed to be doing it yourself. So I just wanted to be on point, I guess, this time. And I asked him, I said, would you mind, and it was polite, just like I said. I said, would you mind making an appointment to go see my case manager? And so he was like, you make your own appointment. We're not going to make an appointment for you. Go over there to the other phone and call him. And I'm like, okay. So, okay. Now, just to remind you, I already knew what to say, and I already knew that eventually it would be me making the appointment. But some people just don't think you're intelligent, and some people just don't know how to talk to other people. But he's like older than me. He's like in his 50s, for God's sakes, older than my mom. I think the same age as my mom. So all he had to say was, yes, you can go over there and just call him and leave a message on his voicemail, and that's how you make an appointment. You see, that's all you had to say. But instead, he had the attitude and the demeanor that made me not want to ever deal with him or ask him any questions or be around him. You see, there's different ways that you can say things, and if you're old enough now, you should have developed a strategy in a certain way of communicating with another person, especially if that's your type of profession and that's what you do. That's not his profession, that's just a job that he's working at. And then this other time I had a lady, she didn't know how to talk to anyone either. She was also older than me. And I told you, so I'm a part of, well, to this back, I was at this facility, at this shelter, and we were supposed to take our showers there, and we are allowed to take our showers in the morning and in the evening. So I could not, I did not have a bed there, but I was allowed to take a shower there, and I had to take it in the morning or in the evening, okay? But I was allowed to utilize the resources there as if I was an actual resident there. Even though I didn't have a bed there, I could still utilize the same resources everyone else could because I was a part of the shelter. So one day I asked one of the staff members in the back if I could go upstairs and take a shower. It was in the morning. He said, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I went upstairs because I was a part of the shelter. So I went upstairs, took a shower, and then I think about 30 minutes I came back downstairs, and this lady with this black lady. Her name was Belinda. She came downstairs and she was like, excuse me, what are you doing? Excuse me, why you keep running back and forth up the stairs like that? And I'm sitting up here like, I went upstairs to go take a shower. You're not supposed to take no shower right now. You're supposed to wait till midnight. And I'm sitting up here like, the paper that I signed says that I'm allowed to take a shower, but it did not have a specific time. It just said that I was available and able to take them just like if I was a resident there. So I was able to utilize the resources normally without a problem. I said, so if there was a certain time on there, why did they not state that in the paper that I signed? She said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was there. Okay, but the way that you just came at me was a little bit rough, you think? And I said, you know what, you did realize that I only went upstairs once, right? So where's that running back up? She said, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else. But see, my thing is like this for her. She does that on purpose, and she wants someone to overreact, and that's just not me. And this is what I'm talking about, and I get to that status later. That's a whole nother video about being ghetto. Sometimes it's funny to be ghetto, and then if you just want to be ghetto 24/7, that's a whole nother issue, and I get that later. But she does that to everybody, and she thinks it's funny and it's cute 24/7, and that is not the way to go. When you have a position to work in front of people, for people, to aid them, you are literally responsible for how you communicate with them. You have the power to determine how you want to deliver your message in order to get your point across without confrontation or making anyone feel uncomfortable about the discussion that you two or whoever you had a discussion with. And she so-called went to A&T State University, so-called, or UNCG, whatever, and she does not act like she has an education at all. And it's just so sad that they allow just anyone to just get an education and not have the passion for what they went to school for. I hope they don't just give the education to anybody. Except for me, because I need the education. But she does not deserve that at all. I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, she's not the only one. It's more people that was actually in there.
That's your perception.
Who did not know how to act. They acted so horrible. They talked to people like they were dogs and animals.
Waving you down, shouting your name.
And I just felt like, why did somebody hire this person? Why are you hired? How did you even get here? That's when I realized that the person that did the hiring was also just as bad as they were. And it's sad if they had one demeanor when they first got hired and then they just changed. Because they were tricked into getting something that they don't even deserve. When you work there at a place like that, you're supposed to have a passion. You're supposed to be well evaluated in order for you to be suitable enough to have the job that you're obtaining. And all they do is sit there and act ghetto and steal stuff and eat all the food and take the donations and just be as ghetto as there isn't a ghetto ever. Like, they are just horrible. And there's a time and a place to be ghetto, but that's a whole nother video. But when you're that 24/7, that is not a good look on you, especially not a woman. Especially not a woman. It's not a good look at all. Or men. It's not. But I've seen someone, there's a lady there who who acts ghetto from time to time, but she don't need to be working there either. Just to be honest, and I just don't like the fact that they allow certain people to just work there because they don't deserve to be working there. Other people know that they don't deserve to be working there, and the bottom line is I'm able to identify the ones who are trashy, crappy, and nasty, and the attitude is out of this world. You got to learn how to talk to people, you guys, because you call for peace, but you're not bringing any peace. Okay, it's like the tone that you have whenever you're talking. It's very threatening, and you try out to talk to everyone like you're in the street getting ready to fight them, but that's not a professional type of talk. Like the tone and the demeanor that you give out, you always say, "Oh, that's how I do things," and blah blah blah. I'm like, the more ghettoer you are, the more horrible you are. I'm sorry. There's the time and a place for that. Okay? Every now and then you can be a little bit of ghetto just to be funny. But if you're using that mentality 24/7 as a profession and you're not going to ever stop that, you will never, ever, ever, ever get the recommendation as someone who was appreciated, that gave their all and the effort and the time and the passion for work. You're just going to be one of the ones that they just, oh yeah, they used to work there. Boom. Nothing positive is going to come out the way. Only thing positive is going to come is that you were there, but no one's going to like you. Okay, so please get that together. It's a lot of people who are older than me who don't know how to talk to people, and they wonder why they have to go through so many issues with communicating and just having the type of people around without having any type of confrontation, because they don't know how to talk to people, and they've told you how to talk to people in grade school. So whether you took that advice and ran with it, or it went right past your head because you listened to how disrespectful your parents were, or you listened to your ego, or some of the people that you consider to be your friends and they were just as off balance as you were agreeing to, then it's not gonna work out. If you haven't got it now and you're of age, then you're never gonna get it. You might get it on your last days on earth because you're not even talking. You might. But just learn how to start talking to people, you guys.